You ever thought that wine would pair well with music? Welcome to House UnCorked, a full, rich, flavored series of podcasts that are all about sharing a story, opinions on wine choices, and pairing that vibe with a live house music set. It's fun, real, raw, and positive conversations between wine pairing and house music. Now, join DJ Dave right now for this week's episode of House UnCorked.
I have a special guest tonight, and tonight we're talking about things that just sort of gets to it tugs at my heartstrings sometimes, because it's something that we have to be educated on more and more these days, and it's about mental health, and it's all about mental health awareness. So that being said, my guest tonight, Joey D. Okay, he has an organization called We Matter.
Yeah.
Okay, Joey, thanks a lot for coming down tonight. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you for having me, Dave. It's awesome. I've been watching what you're doing here with your podcast. You know me, I'm a fan. And anytime I get to spend some time with a good friend, share some wine, music, and talk about something that's important to me, I'm all in.
That is, well, listen, I appreciate Tina. Great to see you online. Thanks for tuning in. So, listen, Joey, we all have these demons in our lives,
yeah.
Okay, and I believe that I know that all of us have sort of just experience, and probably still do, some form of mental health issues that on the outside we can be ourselves. On the outside, people won't notice, but it's all on the inside.
Yeah.
So we all have dark places we've been to. We've all been there. We've all had this certain issues. Joey, tell me, just briefly, your organization. What does it entail?
Well, thanks, Dave. And you made a really good point. And I will say this before I actually explain what We Matter really means and where it came from. You raised a good point about walking outside and being yourself, and you're able to walk out the door in the morning if you're going through depression, and if you're really good like I was, you could leave it behind. I remember I could walk into the sales office back in the day. I get emotional even almost thinking about it, because it'd be so hard for me to walk through those doors some days, and yet I walked through the door and I was like the Wolf of Wall Street, man. Just, bah, I'm there.
Yeah.
But it really wasn't me, Dave. That's the thing, right? But I became so good at it that I did become a version that I didn't like of myself. So, yeah, you can wake up and you can walk out that door and you can be anybody you want to be. When you're battling mental health, and then it takes a big crash in your life to realize what's important, right? And that is to truly live your authentic self.
Sure.
And what I went through, what brought me here today, is a journey that I enjoy talking about. And it's sometimes it's a little tough, sometimes it's emotional, but I had that aha moment in my life that so many people talk about. So many people will read these self-help books and wonder, why is it not happening for me, right? I had that aha moment, and that was after my father passed away from ALS, and it was Christmas morning. So he passed away in December of 2015, and December 14th to be exact. And
sorry about that.
Oh, thank you so much. ALS. I mean, wow. A year prior to that, I was doing the ice bucket challenge, right? And then a year later, my dad's dying from it. I had no idea. He was diagnosed 8 months later, gone. But, some good can come from bad. And what I mean by that is, I think it took my father, his death, to really impact me the way it did. I had no idea it was going to hit me. But every part of my darkness just really crumbled.
Sure.
And so it was Christmas 2015. I went to see my kids at their mom's, and had a visit. Don't remember much about it.
Right.
And I remember driving home, brief periods of that, going along Lakeshore Drive. I remember pulling into my place. I remember walking in my kitchen, and I had my aha moment, and I tried to end my life. Yeah.
Dude, that's That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, that is, it's and when I meant that is like, I'm sorry that, that this happened, but it's like, so this moment where you thought to yourself, that's it.
Yeah.
Was there anybody with you?
No. I walked in and I remember feeling all the heaviness in the world. My dad dying.
Yeah.
Everything that I loved, I was losing all around me. It was the perfect storm in my life all at once. And when it came crashing down, I remember just feeling done. I've never felt just so empty.
Right.
And I'm glad I didn't succeed. It wasn't anything like, I don't want people to think like, oh my God, this guy like took a gun or anything. Listen, suicide. It sucks.
Right.
But I'm here to tell you that I'm so happy I failed.
Right.
And what I mean by that is I get chills, because if I succeeded, I would have missed my grandson, my family, so much. So I'm glad that I failed, Dave, and I had my aha moment. I woke up, and in that second, I knew my life mattered.
Right.
And I said, that's it. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to get back up, and I'm going to start fighting back, and I'm going to start crawling back. And through it all, I discovered who I was. I went from speaking across Canada about this stuff to jumping in a ditch to learn a new skill, because I had to reset my life. But through it all, one thing always stayed steadfast with me, is that how I feel about others and how I feel about life. So I'm glad I failed, because I can tell people right now, like, I know what it's like to be in the moment you don't want to be here, but holy shit, man, how many people don't get that chance to wake up and go, I'm glad I failed.
Well, I think the thing is that I think people need to realize at a certain point when they failed, because, I'd done the same thing. I was always where, I would always hide my emotions. I would hide it on a physical part of it, like you would never tell.
Yeah.
But inside me, like, I would come at home, at work, and we just, we talked about this today. Everyone has a certain things that they deal with, and I totally get it. It's my son's birthday. Lucas is 22.
Yes, happy birthday to Lucas. Happy birthday, Lucas.
We're at his house today for dinner, and we talked about this tonight, where it's like, when he was born, it was magical, obviously, but I started a business at that time, and my business, and I was focused on that.
Yeah.
So mentally, I was like, all I cared about was my business, and for the first 5 years of his life. And Stefan could judge. Him and his wife, they helped us out. They were in the basement of our house, and we all, and it's like, thank God for family, okay? Right. Because for 5 years, Joey, is like, I didn't see Lucas, and that really bothered me to the point where it's like, I told my wife, I said, that's it.
Yeah.
Selling the fuck company.
Good.
I'm getting rid of everything. Yeah. I want to go somewhere where I can work, where I can run a company, but build it, but still I can come home and see my kids, have dinner with them, and so forth. So everyone, we all experience it. But yes, we have dark times. We have there are tons of dark times where it's like. But what I'm trying to say is that we all have to fail to realize, and it's an unfortunate thing, but we have to fail to realize that hey, we got to pick ourselves up.
Dave, exactly. And I'm the first to be real about what happened in my life, and yet I'm the first person to say, yet I can also tell you that you can jump, you can take that leap of faith and trust that the parachute will open.
Right.
It's gonna open, man. Whatever that is to you, God, Buddha, the universe, whatever it is that you believe in, but it's gonna open, because until you're willing to actually take that leap of faith. And so it took me to go through that. And, I was real with my kids about it too, right? And because I didn't want to be a hypocrite, Dave. I preach so much to anybody across the country, students, high school, college, anybody
that
I had a blessing to speak with. But I would preach about being open and being transparent and being honest. And yet I was living a hypocritical life because I wasn't sharing yet my own darkness. I still kept it compressed. hidden.
Right.
I wasn't ready yet. Until I told my children I couldn't evolve in my life.
So you're taught yourself basically by just and obviously we talked about family, but you taught yourself because I always wondered, I always want to know, because there's so many people out there that that will talk about or teach or educate the issues and how to overcome, how to recognize, and how to deal with it. And I think you made a good point. Is it's like, talk about it, be transparent. Like, you want to be open to your kids. Like, I'm open to my kids. We talk about everything, because you don't want that issue where it's like, why did I not know about it? And then that's what you don't want to happen, is something because they didn't have anywhere to go or anywhere to turn to. Everyone struggles differently. So you preaching it and around Canada and talking to kids and talking to grown-ups or whatever it may be.
Well, adults, man. I'll tell
Adults.
you, when you battle depression, so I've had it suppressed for so many years, right? So when you battle it for so long, there's a day you do grow up and you realize, I can live with this, and I can live a happy, loving, successful life, and you can be a great citizen of society. You can be a kind person. You can always choose kindness. My message to people is that if you're going through darkness, right? If you're going through darkness, you've really got to do the work. You can't say, hey, I want change.
Right.
And then wake up tomorrow and say, why is nothing happening, but I'm going to stay in bed. Right? You got to get up, man. And the best thing for me was physical labor, physical work. Man, that unlocked so much I had suppressed. When you're in a ditch, man, and you're digging 18 inches down and it's clay and the machine's broke, but it's got to get done. Oh, man.
You're fucking doing it.
You grow. Right? You grow. And you realize that you got to go through some hard shit in life to get to the end of the day. Because no matter what, the work's got to be done, right? But my point is that if you're going through darkness, you got to be willing to try. Get up, go for a walk, open the curtains, breathe in some fresh air.
Right.
Life is so worth it, man. It absolutely is. So,
and the positive, and being positive about it. That's the ticket for that is being positive about just about being positive with the whole situation of life. You cannot just say to yourself, be negative and like this and I fucking hate this and this and that. You know what? I'm not doing this, and it's because the thing is that people have to recognize that, and someone who is always that type. And I know a few people that are always like that. And I always tell them, hey man, just step back. Like you just said, open the curtains. Breathe the fresh air.
The smallest of things.
Yeah, man. Go for a drive. Leave the windows open. Go for a drive.
And that's why, Dave, I wish we had 3 days to talk about it, man, because we could. Like, we could sit here for 72 hours and just rock it, right? But what you do, right? Music,
Right.
That is the most powerful instrument. That's the most powerful tool anybody can have. And it's right in your pocket, right? We all have it right at our phones.
Exactly.
What I learned is I created a playlist. It's my power playlist, right? Man, I got playlists. If I want to cry, I can hit play and I'll bawl I'm in check with that, right?
But that's
with
good,
my emotions.
though.
It is. Sometimes you need a good cleansing, but
right.
but if I'm feeling it coming, if it's like you see the dark cloud coming, man, and you can't escape, because let me tell you, you can't run it. You got to face it, right? So, but I hit play, and you know what it does, man? It softens the blow.
Okay,
it's the best way I can describe it. All right. Instead of getting hit by a brick, you're getting hit by a pillow. And it's the world of difference. So music's so powerful. That's why when I saw what you were doing, I said to Annalise, I'm like, I love what he's doing, and I've got to talk to him. And then when
Thank you.
When you posted about the music festival coming up, man, I'm like, the universe needs DJ Dave and Joey D to connect.
and we are.
Yeah,
we are, and and it's all about, you mentioned it, the music for me. To come out of a dark area, to come out of a dark place, and I've talked about it 1,000 times, music saves me. Music steers me in a different direction. And when you said you have playlists for like anything from the bawling to the to just having a great time and pumping up, and I'm the same way. We all need a different direction. Music takes us in different journeys. Okay, so I know that with the house music scene, and I went to Baseline last night to see a friend of mine DJ, and just the vibe was just fantastic. Right. It's like, this is what you want to see. This is what you want to feel, right? I don't want to go to a mainstream club and on a Sunday night, I go downtown to Baseline to hear some good house music. Because that's what I wanted to hear. And also see a friend of mine. And Zoe, you did a great job last night. Loved it. Thank you much for inviting me down there. But we talked about music. Music saves us. It saves me anyway. Saves you. And I know that I've spoken to other people that are in the same type of situation. They're like, you know what, I'm the same way, Dave. Music saved me, like literally physically saved me, mentally saved me. And I think that is a big importance of our lives. And I teach my kids the same way. I said, you know what, if it's quiet and you're having issues, yes, you can always call us, talk to us, okay?
Amazing.
But I said, put on some music. If you're studying and you're having issues, you're like, fuck that, I'm done. You can either talk to your mother, you can talk to me, whoever you want to talk to. Or you know what? Set it aside, listen to some music, chill out, man. You know?
That's right.
You have to, man. You have to.
But music, music saves lives, and music unites people, right? It brings people together as well, so your festival is going to be fantastic with mental health and music. It's just going to bring so many people together. I'm excited about that. That's the perfect intro to what We Matter is really all about, right? So if music brings people together, the philosophy behind We Matter is that, Dave, if I could be speaking simplicity, it would be you matter, I matter, we matter, right? So it's not about I only matter. So if we're walking down the street, I'm telling you, I do it on purpose sometimes. I will literally look at people in their eyes to see a reaction. And you know what I get, man? Usually nothing. Usually they're not even looking back. They got their heads down on their phone. I always do these little social experiments.
That's awesome, buddy.
So I thought, good. Well, thank you. So and man, people look at me like I'm weird. I'm in Starbucks having a coffee like this.
And you're staring at them.
And they're looking at me like, who's the freak, right? No, I'm just a friendly guy looking at you smiling, right?
Exactly, right?
I don't want anything more, just to smile back maybe. Smile, but I'm like, oh, people are like, oh my God, he's looking at me, man. He's looking at me. The weirdo's looking at me. Right?
Exactly. I got something in my teeth.
So imagine, Dave, imagine, when I developed the We Matter brand philosophy, it's more of a lifestyle. I think it's more of a choice. Right. So I choose to say hello to people. I choose to say thank you and please, and I choose that. So if I see you walking down the street and you've got a We Matter branded shirt on or something, I'm going to say hi to you because I've got it. The whole idea about connecting, we need to connect. We need to be there for each other. We need to acknowledge that you matter. We need to acknowledge that we matter. The world's getting tough, man.
It is.
I mean, bullying that's happening in schools and let alone schools.
Anywhere.
It's
on
adults,
the street.
man.
Adults, exactly.
It's
workforce.
Adults.
It happens.
It's everywhere. So we need to condition the mindset to think about helping rather than hurting. And when we do that, we can start thinking about how much we matter, right? So we need to work on ourselves. We need to do the work. And when you do the work, you'll earn your deliverance. And that's what I mean, man. That's when you'll truly know, oh my God, I do matter. And then you'll know. Once you know you matter, you'll understand how much you matter.
Right.
We matter.
Right.
Holy man, we need to come together. Everybody talks about how united the world are. Lie. We're so disconnected, man. Yeah. Nobody wants to talk.
No. They want to use their phones. They want to text.
Man, I'll tell you what. I had a friend said, hey, you called me. Is everything okay? Yeah. Well, why'd you call? To say hi? Oh, I thought there was an emergency. Just text me. No, man, I want to hear your voice.
Exactly.
So I think we need to connect more. We need to talk more. We need to start the conversation about it. And that's what it's about, right? Is sitting down. That's why I like people. If I'm out in public, they'll say, what does that mean? I love saying it.
Yeah.
You matter, right?
You matter.
And I pull out I got these little cards I hand out to people, right? So I'll go, you matter. You know what I mean?
Perfect, man. That's awesome.
Hey,
This is
you
fantastic.
matter. You know, so
That is fantastic, buddy.
so you never know who needs a little lift up, a pick me up.
Right.
But yeah, it's just time to have real conversation about it, Dave. You know, all the
you,
talk
you
about
said it
mental health.
perfectly about the fact that conversations, like I see, and it's kids, it could be adults. They're on their phones, and my kid, and I told my kids, I said, yeah, okay, you know what? Sometimes a quick text to your buddies when I get it.
Yeah.
I said, stop. Dial their fucking number.
That's it.
Call
man.
them.
Yep.
Call them.
Yep.
Don't say, so and so is going to meet me outside,
Yeah.
or he's outside.
Yeah.
I want them to call
Yeah.
and say, hey, listen, man, I'm here. Or what are you doing? What's happened today, right?
We live in a day now where emojis matter so much.
Right.
I'll get a reply going, is everything okay? Yeah, why? Well, you didn't give me a smile emoji. Oh, my God. Emojis matter, man.
I know.
It's true, though. They actually do.
You're right.
They put emotion into text. God, if we're only going to text, at least use an emoji, man.
I know.
Show me
know.
you're smiling, and are you
know.
really smiling? But I'll tell you, Dave, if I say LOL on a mess, I am LOLing.
You are
For real.
You know what? Speaking of LOLing,
Yes.
this, and it's not a laughing matter, but the wine, like we talked, you called me in the
That's
car.
the humor matters too, man. Yeah.
You called me in the car. You're like, hey, Dave, because I'm at the liquor store and I got this great wine. I said, okay, this is not right. And he's like, I said, okay, well, I'm gonna be running a little bit late.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm just gonna walk around the aisles a few minutes later,
it,
and
Just read up on some more vino.
And I tell you, can you please talk about this wine? Because I've never seen this wine.
Yeah.
And I'd love to try it.
Where
out.
should I point it, man? I'll give a shout out to Ravage.
It's up on top of there. You can see the camera right.
So, right there.
Perfect, right there.
So
I'll have it up on the podcast picture afterwards.
Okay.
Of everything.
So I was in the liquor store on the weekend. We were going over for a dinner and at Annalisa's sister's, and I'm like, you know what? I was drawn to. I love California Red. So a little rewind here. Wine.
Right.
Red wine, some of it will trigger cluster headaches in me. It's horrible, man. I'm done for
You're not the only
24
one.
hours.
You're not the only one.
So I have to be careful. So testing a new wine for me is very, let's roll the dice and
Right.
hopefully I get sevens. Ravage
Yeah.
is a California Red. And what I like about it, I'm going to see if I can remember it from reading the label. It's a beautiful blend of berries, vanilla, and mocha. And those are three of my favorite things in life, man. Vanilla, I love it. Berries, who doesn't love a berry? And mocha, it just sounds good to eat or drink. Like, who doesn't want a cafe mocha? It just sounds good. As soon as you put mocha into it. But anyways, no headaches. It's a real dry wine.
Okay.
And the body just delivers, man. Like when that rolls back on your
Right.
tongue, like for people who know how to drink wine,
Yeah.
tip to back, dude, it just unlocks the flavonoids.
Well, you know what? You better pour some of those.
I would love to.
Pour it 3
All
glasses.
3, yes.
Stefan's here. He's Stefan, my brother-in-law. He's the photographer of our show, Stefan. Thanks also for coming down. And I tell you, we all talk about the positive sides of just being open with people. And you said that you'd go out into the public and
Yeah.
just like say, and you would talk to somebody, and whether the reaction is good or not,
Yeah.
to you,
Cheers.
cheers.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers, guys. Thanks very much.
You matter.
Yes, we matter.
We matter.
Okay,
See how
so
that
it's
works?
like you're talking to everybody.
Oh, delicious. Oh, wow. See that? Tell me. Do you like it?
I do.
You
I
might
do.
not.
No,
It's
you know
not
what?
Everybody's going to love it like I do.
I love a cab sav. Okay.
Okay, good.
And when I had Rob Mancini on my show,
I watched it.
You know what? And I didn't know he knew his fucking wines, and he
Right
knew his
on.
wine, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he said a couple little small little tricks that really stuck to me about it. A light wine for the light foods, okay, like the heavy wines
great
for heavy
trick.
foods. You know, like a cab sav,
Yeah.
a cab sav is a wine that you would have with steak. With pasta that's heavy, because the cab sav actually has the acidic in this cab sav will break down the food quicker. That's why you want to have that type of wine.
The science behind it, eh?
I'm not a fucking scientist. I just love the wine.
Yeah,
But when
yeah.
Rob told me that, I'm like, damn, man, fuck, and this book that there's 101s for wines I've ordered, so it's coming. But to veer back into the mental health.
Yeah.
The festival this summer.
Yes.
Okay. So my Toronto House Music Festival, June. The date is coming within hours, I'll tell you what's happening. But it is going to be downtown Toronto.
Yeah.
All about the mental health awareness. It's about educating, about just being around people and opening up and talking.
Yeah.
And all the DJs that I'm having, there's amazing DJs I'm having per hour. And in that, before each of those sets, we're gonna have engagement with the crowd.
Yeah.
You're gonna be up there. You're gonna talk about.
Love to.
Okay, and
love to.
And I'm telling you that right now. Actually, you didn't know, but I'm gonna be telling you that you are gonna be there.
And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm committing to that. You heard it here first, right here on House
Perfect.
Uncorked.
There we go.
But you know what? That actually, if I may speak to that,
Sure.
You know, you talk about speaking, having the opportunity to speak to a crowd. Right now, I'm going to tell you, statistically in that crowd, you're going to have people that are living with mental illness.
Absolutely.
Statistically.
Absolutely.
So there's also going to be people in that crowd that are ignorant. There are going to be people in that crowd that live with people who suffer from depression and other forms of mental illness. What I like to deliver is that, look, the two things. One, the person who's battling the mental illness, the person who's in that depressive state. When I was going through my darkest times, I'm telling you right now, the last thing I did was call anybody.
It was, eh?
Oh, no, man. People say call somebody. That's not the message, man. When you're okay, you're like, okay, I'll call somebody.
Right.
You're not going to, man. The odd person will, and I applaud them. That's amazing. That means they're growing. They're getting stronger.
Right.
But the last thing you're thinking is, nobody will get this. You know, I don't want to burden them with this. So you just
That's what they're gonna
stay
think.
inside and watch Netflix, you know?
Right.
So, and secondly, so to the people that know friends, family who are battling mental illness, reach out to them. Just touch base, man, from time to time.
Right.
It doesn't have to be much. Just say, hey, hope you're having a great day.
Right.
Hey,
that's
we
all
should
it
grab a
takes.
coffee. Hey, I'd love
Sure.
to take you out for a coffee. Encourage that. But just reach out. You know, I have friends that I like to touch base with that I know that have gone through some mental illness. Like friends that I've worked, man, like in construction, burly men, dude, that say, I've been really sad, you know. And so I'll sort of go through a little bit of a routine. I like reaching out, man, touching base. It really does matter, Dave. And then lastly, to the people that live with people who suffer from mental illness, thank you, man. Thank you. Because we go through some shit, you know, and for them to accept you wholeheartedly, man, that's when you grow.
Right.
So, you know, I have this other little thing about life, and I sat down, I really, whether you want to call it meditate on it or not, but
Sure, you should
I
be
put a lot
meditating.
of thought into this, and I thought, what does it really mean to live? Well, what does life really mean, right? So I broke it down. I got out a whiteboard. I put L-I-F-E, and I started writing all these words that really came to me with those initials, and this is what I came up with. Here's how you live. Well, the L is you learn. If we're not learning, we're not living. Would you agree?
Right.
Okay.
I agree.
So as we're learning, I think it's our duty to inspire others.
Okay.
I recognize that in life. It's not about inspiring others, but sharing in that education of what you learned. If it's relevant, if it's always going to be good for somebody, right? So if we learn, we inspire. Now, the F, huge. People could talk about futures and all this, but what I came up with, because I put a lot of thought in this, is forgiveness. So learning, inspiring, forgiveness.
Okay.
And that's forgiving yourself. Because you can't forgive anybody else unless you forgive yourself. And then once you've done all those three, that is the only time that life will say you get to evolve. Because if you're not learning, you're definitely not forgiving, right?
Right.
You're not going to evolve. You can't, man. It's about doing the work. So this just all falls under the how much I just believe in people, man.
Right. This is awesome,
That
buddy.
you
This
matter.
is awesome.
Well, thank you. I don't know, man. I just here's what I know. Shit, you know, you don't want to come across sounding egotistical, man, but enough people have told me, and I know people who know me know I'm not, so I'm cool with that.
Right.
I've had enough people tell me, man, you've changed my life just by being in it. You come on the job site, you change the whole charisma of it. You know, you walk in, whatever, right? Sometimes I'm in conversation with like grown men, and they're pouring out to me, man. And I'm sitting there going, man, I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be listening. I'm supposed to be absorbing this. And I just feel compelled, man, to continue this. And I have all the right people around me that are, you know, encouraging that walk.
I Joey, this is awesome. Like I've and at the end of the podcast or on the edited version of it, I'm going to have your version of life and what each of those letters mean. I'm going to put that up on the site so people understand. People
That's really nice.
And if anyone could just, if that one person just turns to it and says, I remember that.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, man. Because, at the end of the day, and it really starts with the L, right? Learning. And you're not learning until you're accepting exactly where you are. And you got to say, okay, there may be circumstances that caused my depression. I blogged about it, man. Like, mine's public information. I was sexually assaulted, man, when I was like 11, 12 by a babysitter, a female babysitter. And that's going to F with a kid, man.
Shit, yes.
I knew shit at 11 years old that every kid was trying to find in a Playboy magazine. Dude, I could have written in Playboy magazine. It's like it's effed up, Dave.
Yeah, man.
So I decided, man, long ago, like, I'm just going to be transparent about it, and that's my kind of calling in life. I go to work every day to make a living, but my calling is really just connecting, man, and just saying, fuck, I've been there.
Right.
But I'm telling you, you can live a happy, productive, loving life, and you can be a success, man.
Sure.
Depression doesn't put an anchor on you. It doesn't, man. You can tear anything off. You can do it. You can absolutely do it.
So then how would you get your We Matter? How are you going to get that out more? Like, how can people find you?
Well, it's kind of... It's funny, Dave. Like, when I started, it wasn't even about that. It was just kind of like, this is who I am. Like, I got some hoodies made for Annalise and I, and some T-shirts, and we've put in an order since because more and more people are asking about it. So, and I'll talk to you about that. We're going to do a prize giveaway too tonight. So that's kind of like, I should have told you that before, man. But anyway, so we got a couple prize packs we're going to put together for a couple listeners and watchers and all that. But Dave, honestly, man, it wasn't really about that. It was like, it's not about selling things, it's about connecting. But then I got to thinking, well, geez, man, people want to start wearing this stuff. That's amazing. So we're going to do stickers, and I'm being requested now. I'm getting some inquiries about speaking on the West Coast right now, California. That's really cool, man.
That's awesome.
In the cannabis industry, actually. So, there's that avenue as well. And hey, man, if anybody knows how much people matter, it's the cannabis industry,
How simple is that?
Right.
It's very simple. And that's also other topics we could talk about too,
For sure.
And I know we could talk about forever on this stuff. And I love the fact that you're open about it.
Yeah,
you're talking about it, and we've all been down that rough avenue, that rough road that led us to the bottom of life. Okay, and I love the way you brought each of those letters about learning, and I always want to find out how can an average person on the street learn about this stuff, because it's like I'm telling you, there's people that are in denial.
Yeah.
There's people that are living with it, like you said.
Yeah.
And there's people that know who they're living with or around that are having this issue. And how do you open up? Well, you just said it. You should talk to them and say, hey, man, how's it going? That's
right.
I'm gonna. What kind of coffee do you take?
That's it, man.
I'm gonna bring a coffee tomorrow. That's sometimes all it takes.
$1.85 coffee can literally change a life, man.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, whether you pick that person up to take him to work or bring him home or whatever it may be, it's talking to that person. And when I mentioned before about how I talk to my kids about, if there's issues, call us. But I don't wait for that. We're always calling them, and we're always telling them, hey, what's up? How's it going? Everything okay?
That's good, Dave.
You have to, man, because I'm going to tell about, this always sticks in my head, and I know this person doesn't listen to my show, so I can talk about it.
Okay.
And I don't give a shit if they're listening or not, but I'm not going to say who it is, but I'm just going to tell the situation, okay?
Yeah.
This person had a daughter, 16 years old, and living in Toronto, so she goes to school, goes to the subway with her friends, tells her friends, I love you, and fucking jumps in front of a train.
Oh my God.
Commits suicide. 16 years old.
Oh, man.
So when we're a part of this, and it was fucking devastating. Devastating. And I always say to myself, and I'll tell Michelle to this day, and I'm always analyzing it. I'm always thinking about how could that be preventable.
Yeah.
Maybe it couldn't. Maybe, but for me, it's like I want to be in my kid's face.
Yeah.
I want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Because in the end, whether they tell me or not, they'll tell their mother.
Yes.
And I'm okay with them talking to their mother about it. But when I hear that stories like that, holy fuck, does it put a damper on? And I was not a damper, but yes, it is a horrible situation. But it's like, how do you prevent that?
You know, the honest answer is you can't, right? What you can do, though, is you can try to prevent many, right? Okay. You know, you can't save all. You want to try, Dave, you know, and that's why the power of a podcast can reach, right? There could be one person listening tonight that's just going, oh my gosh, I finally get it, man. I got to start doing the work,
right?
You know, we have to continue to do that. We have to continue to connect and communicate. Right. And you know, I mean, what's a good comparison? I mean, you can't change. You can't affect everybody. You just can't. It's impossible. Mathematically impossible, right? But all we can do is try to connect with those in the room, right? And then those in the room may share that with somebody else in another room.
Networking.
Yes,
you know,
yes, you know, and just be willing to have conversations, man. Look the person in the eyes and just have a chat.
That's the thing, and I think that is the ticket to helping eliminate any situation that can come up that way.
Yeah.
And I wasn't trying to put a damper on things. It's just like,
of course not. But that's
but it's about education, about how to learn.
But we're here to
from
talk
that.
about that, man.
Talk about it.
You know, you talk about you don't need to make things dampen the mood, but honestly, Dave, that's depression, that's mental health right there, man.
Yeah.
A 16-year-old girl jumped in front of a subway or a train, like
in front of her friends.
So yeah, in that moment, that girl. You're not thinking about those who love you. You're just thinking about, I got to get out of this dark cloud, man.
Right.
And oh my God, I wish she didn't do that. But here's the thing, right? The friends, they'll be impacted for the rest of their life with that. It'll change them forever. You just hope that it'll inspire them, though, to talk about it and deal with it, because they're going to be battling, man.
Absolutely.
You know, there was another suicide on the train tracks this morning at around 11 a.m. I heard on the news. I'm like, oh, man. I used to feel like, when I heard about another suicide, I honest to God, I felt like it was my responsibility. I didn't make it to that community in time. I didn't get to that school in time. I didn't get to that classroom. If I just would have just talked to that student, he or she would still be here. It got that bad, man, because you realize you can't, Dave. You can't, man.
I know, you can't.
You can't. But what you can do is you can take their deaths, though, and help them rest in peace by helping another, right?
You said it perfectly, man. You said it perfectly. Exactly. That's all you can do.
You have to. And that's why the UI We Matter sort of mantra, right? It was developed by kids, man.
Right.
You know, you matter, I matter, we matter. Like, it's what it's all about. We have to continue to connect.
We do. And I really I love these topics. I love this topic. Because it tells you.
If I can say one last thing about suicide. I studied it, man. So I was in contact with a psychiatrist as well in San Francisco, because I was so fixated on the Golden Gate Bridge. It's like the murder or suicide capital of America, right? So they actually have patrols that are undercover that just sort of bike ride along the bridge and whatnot to look for people that are looking depressed. And there's one guy that has saved hundreds of lives, man. Just by going up and saying, how are you today? He notices the person standing at the rail with the backpack by his feet.
Unbelievable.
Thinking about, I'm going to jump, man.
Yeah.
So there are only 2 people that have ever survived that jump. And there's an article on it, And
actually, you're right. There's one guy talked about it.
That's right. And I never had a crazy moment, man, as that when I read that article. Because I read it after my attempt, right? Because that's when I just studied, like, how did my mind get there?
Right.
Why? Why did I get that black, right? Where you don't think about hurting other people. You just think about, I got to get out of this. So the 2 people that survived said the moment they left the bridge, they didn't want to die. They said, oh, my God, please save me on the way down. They literally asked God to save them. And apparently, studies show that if the jumper hits straight down, you get chewed up in all the cables down below. If the impact doesn't kill you,
what cables down? Like in the water?
All the cables that hold the bridge, all the
Are
supporting cables.
in the water?
Oh yeah, man, deep.
Jesus.
So you get torn up in that, and then you're out to sea you go.
Yeah.
But apparently, if you hit the water at a certain angle, you can miss them and come up down the river a little bit, down the ocean a little bit.
But there's fucking sharks in the goddamn water.
2 people survived, and both said, as soon as I left the bridge, man. So if that's true, did the others think that too? Right? So you start thinking to yourself, all the ones that failed, did they think that? Some don't get the opportunity, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So when I had the opportunity, man, that was it. I devoted my life to it. I gotta connect with people about it, man. Because
I think you're doing amazing about it.
If I help just one,
that's all it takes is helping this one person.
That's all that matters, man.
But I want to know, what's your future going to be like? What do you see yourself on focusing? Are you want to focus on more about this of educating people, and how would you want to do this?
Yeah, it's a great question, Dave. I'm going to kind of let the universe speak to me on that,
Right.
Something told me I had to come here tonight and be with you and talk about it, right? I kind of look at this as a little bit of a launching pad of sorts, of saying, hey, you know what? This is important. This is really important. Other than just the people I know in my circle that's growing, we got to start talking about it. So I'd love to say, hey, man, this is going to be my future, and that's it. I'm going to start traveling again and speaking. That's a dream, man. That could
that's
happen?
awesome.
Maybe. If people want me to come and speak, I'll go speak. Sure. Absolutely. I'll share my story, man. Like, we only get a short version of it, Dave, and I'll share with you later, another time, perhaps, the whole story, right?
Absolutely.
Because you can't get into the whole thing, man. We need to have some wine and get into it.
Multiple bottles of wine.
Multiple bottles, but...
and some cannabis.
Hey, cannabis heals. Cannabis __ heals.
Hint, Instagram.
On the IG.
Yeah, on the IG.
Nah, man. But no, I think to answer your question, honestly, Dave, I'm just gonna let kind of like the power of the internet do its work, and just say, all right, look, you know what? I've got the UI We Matter Facebook page. I've got a little Twitter account going, Instagram, all at UI We Matter. So it's easy to find us, right?
Right.
I just want to connect with people, man.
And I'll have all your links up on the podcast afterwards when we up on the website, so it's all there.
And I did think about, Annalise and I were talking about it, right? And she's been very inspiring, man, in my life to sort of help in my rebirth of sorts, right?
Sure.
And so we were chatting about that whole idea about, the challenge almost on the street. You see somebody wearing a UI We Matter, acknowledge that person. Say hello. Man, that might be your new best friend.
Right.
You never know, right?
You never know.
Encourage connection. Encourage connection and communication.
Absolutely. You have to encourage the eye contact, the just speaking to them and seeing and reading their body language and figuring out and helping yourself understand. Yeah. Is there something wrong? Hey, man, what's going on?
Yeah. Exactly, Dave. And you said one thing there, eye contact. It's important, man. Because then you're connecting with the person, right?
Right.
I was taught very young that when you toast, always eye contact. When you shake hands, eye contact. My father taught me very well when it came to this is how you're going to have to be,
right?
In the business world, just in living, be considerate, use your mannerisms, right? So it's there, and I'd like to think that my dad would be super proud of.
Oh, he is.
Man, like I had to kind of percolate everything and consolidate it all, man. Like, my father passed away, and then, I tried to end my life, and I'm so happy I failed, and, I kind of devote now every day to him. It's amazing, man. Like, when you just have that opportunity, dude, like this is his ring, and I wear his ring. It's his legacy ring. When I wear it, it represents kindness
and he's with
integrity, and just anybody who's ever met him says your dad just was amazing. Like, dude, it's the greatest thing.
And we share the same.
Nobody talks about trucks and freaking fucking farms, man. They talk about his character.
You're absolutely right.
Who gives a shit about the car you drive, right?
and we talk about the same way, because your father and my father, my father passed away as well in 2005. Buddy. Thank you. And and we talk about the fact that we do have parts of him that are they're all with us, and that help us to make certain decisions that are what you say to yourself, what would he do? You know, and it's
Yes.
like, and it's
Oh,
like,
all the time.
you know, that's what he's going to do.
Yeah.
And we talked about eye contact. We talked about, you know, speaking when they're talking. Speak to them. Like, look at them.
Yeah, man.
You know, you look at some kids today, and it's like they're talking and they're looking at the floor.
They do.
You know, and it's like, how's it going? I'm okay. I'm here, dude. Look at my fucking eyes. I'm right here.
Yeah.
Right? Like, talk to me. Like, look at me. Right?
Like that experiment I did, man, at Starbucks. I'm telling you, I've done it twice. I really have.
This must think you're a crazy guy.
But I do it. I literally do it, man. Like I go in, I leave my phone in the car, and I just sit down. I have my cup of coffee. I might have a newspaper in front of me, and people look at that like, "What is that? Is that the new encyclopedia? Like, what is that?"
Oh yeah.
And then I just look at them, man, and I just smile. Like,
No,
it's not
that's
creepy,
awesome.
Dave. It would be like, you know, I don't know. Was that creepy that I just do a creepy face?
No, man. of
Right. I
course
just said
not.
hello with my face.
Who cares?
Right?
You might get to that one person like, dude, what the hell is your problem?
No,
And
it's
then
true. It's
you
true.
say, no problem. Have a good
Yeah.
day. You know, everything's okay. So listen, we can talk for hours about this, and I totally I love it. Okay. I do want to. You just mentioned you have a giveaway.
Yes,
Okay.
please. We're gonna have a.
So
want me to tell you what it is?
let's tell the people what we have.
All right, so here's what a male and female, boy or girl, is going to receive.
Okay.
You're going to receive a UI We Matter T-shirt and a tumbler
Nice.
for your water. Drink lots of water with ice. It's good for you.
Okay. Perfect.
In
man.
the UI We Matter tumbler.
I love that. So we're gonna pick. I'm gonna pick a random person that's been engaging in our conversations.
Okay.
There's a lot of them on here, and I'm gonna pick Tina Kulichi.
Didn't she win last week?
No, that was Eve.
Have
Eve
you ever had a
won.
back-to-back winner?
No.
You got to keep track of that, man.
I do keep track of it. It's in my head. Tina Colucci, you are the winner tonight.
Well, female winner, because we're going to have a
female
male winner, too.
Oh, you got, man, that's awesome. Okay, for a male one,
Yeah, so congratulations, Tina.
Tina, you're
Just
going to love this.
DM me or DM, if you know Annalisa, your size.
Or me.
Or DJ Dave. I'm sorry to
You
take
know,
that away from you, Dave.
You know, it's okay. I'm always been taken away.
Yeah,
from
that's
her.
right.
Don't worry
She probably can't DM me anyways. Like, who am I to her? Hi, I'm Joey. You're going to wear one of my T-shirts. Thank you.
Okay, so for the guys.
Yes.
Okay, for the guys.
Just to be clear, too, I want everybody to know I don't see anybody, man. I'm not on Facebook Live right now.
No, but if I put, okay, you know what? I'm going to put the screen up here.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
You
But,
all right?
but I'm just
Okay.
saying, like, I have no... But I'm just saying, if you choose, like, a buddy of mine,
Yeah.
I don't have anything to do with the
You have
winners,
nothing-
is what I'm saying.
Okay,
Disclaimer.
So, all right, so I'm going to choose Paul Todd.
Of all people, man.
Paul
Like, people are
Todd.
going to be like... They're gonna protest this.
They're not going to protest it.
They're going to protest
Listen,
it,
they're
man.
not going to be because I you know what?
Paul
Honestly,
Todd's my boy, man.
okay, that's great. This is all random.
Okay, so
This
I'm
is
gonna give.
fucking
Can I give
random
a shout
shit
out?
then.
Can I give a shout out to Paul?
Go give a shout out to Paul.
Paul Todd's a fellow house music lover, man. I said you got to check out DJ Dave's
Paul, I
podcast.
love it. I love it.
Worked with Paul for a few seasons, man. Building
That's
pools,
awesome, man.
digging
Oh,
holes,
really?
filling holes, being the holes, man. We were just having fun. But music, man. Lunchtime, it'd be
Yeah.
house music. He loves it, right? So, but I want to say this: that guy.
Yeah.
A lot of people at work were really great with me. I could name names all night long, right? But maybe we can do that the next time. But Paul Todd, dude,
Yeah.
that guy had my back, man. If I was having a bad day, he knew it. You know what I mean? He was a true dude.
That's
Like, I could
all
tell
that
him.
matters, man.
I could tell him, Paul, I'm not having a good day, man. And he would just be the perfect dude. Like, he was a great friend, is a great friend. So I'd run through a wall for that guy.
That's fantastic. Everyone has to have that
Yeah.
in their lives.
Yeah.
I see Ahmed, great guy.
Hello, Ahmed.
Awesome. Rob Mancini, Carol Maris from the U.S.
Just remember, you all matter.
Christopher DeMello. We got Valerie Drexler.
That's my baby
Your
sister.
baby sister is said, "Hey Joey,
Yeah, man.
What's
if
going
you need,
on?
If you need real estate in the London, Ontario area, she's the girl.
that's awesome." Listen, Joey, I appreciate you coming on board
Thanks,
tonight.
man. I appreciate you having me, DJ Dave. I really do.
Listen, we are we can talk for hours on this,
Yeah.
and it is a subject that I love talking about, love preaching about. The festival, you are going to be part of it.
Love to be
on
there.
the
Yeah, when
guest
is that?
speaking.
When is that again?
It's in June. The day is going to be hours away, which I'll tell you,
Okay.
but it is happening on Pride weekend.
Awesome.
It is Pride month, so it's going to be crazy housing of people from
Yeah.
all over the fucking world.
Yeah, good.
So we're excited about it.
I'm excited to be there.
every hour, like I said, we're going to have DJs every hour spin and curate an amazing set, and we're going to have engagement with the crowd. We're going to have yoga to house music. We're going to have yeah, absolutely, man. We're going to have. I'm
going to be out on break at that point.
You can wear your little Speedos if you want. I don't, at least I like that.
It's not 1987, baby.
We can do that. Pink and red and baby blue, or with leg warmers. Yeah, it's okay. We're all there.
I could do the 20-minute workout.
We're not judging, man. We're not judging. It's not about judges. See, that's another thing.
Hey, live in the moment, man.
Live in the moment. No judging. Joey, listen, man. I appreciate you coming on.
I don't want this to end, do you?
No, but I got some great music tonight.
I can't wait to hear it. Can I stay for some music?
You can stay as long as you want, man. I'm gonna spend a 20-minute set, so it's not too crazy.
All right, man.
And it's all live tonight. DJ booth is right here. Got Joey here tonight from We Matter. Yeah. And he's on the podcast tonight. Joey, thanks very much for the wine.
Yes,
it's fantastic. I'm gonna post on my social media where you can buy this. And we're gonna drink it tonight. And everybody, listen, have a great night.
Yeah,
Joey,
Dave.
thanks very much for stopping by tonight.
Thanks for having me.
This is a great subject. This is a great topic. I enjoyed it, and thanks everybody for tuning in. And we're gonna spin some music. But you want to say one more last thing?
Just to kind of if we could do it perfectly, where you kind of wean out, it would be like, you matter, I matter. We matter.
There you go.
There we go.
But I also was going to think of myself. I said to myself, you know what? I got to think of something at the end where it's like, I'm Joey D, and I just been uncorked.
Ooh, I like it. And remember, learn, inspire, forgive, evolve.
There you go. There you go, guys. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We are going to be spinning some music in about a minute or so, we're just going to get geared up, and we're going to have some great time, some music. We Matter. Hold on a second. Keep it there. Keep it there. Keep it there. There you go. There. Perfect, guys. Anyway. Thanks for tuning in tonight. This is all raw talk. This is unscripted. This is all just through our passion, through our hearts, through our mind, through our soul. We talked about it's all real raw talk.
Yeah, you've got me excited about my podcast, man. I got to start mine now. I need to keep speaking.
You have to. You have to do it.
Do you think I do?
Of course you do, man.
Your
I encourage that.
Absolutely,
podcast, man.
Seriously? Like your setup's insane.
No.
Can I just do it here?
Shut up. I am not a professional. I am not.
Can I rent the space?
You can come down to my studio and it'll be your studio.
Oh my god! I like how he said no.
No,
you can come down and use my studio like it's your own.
No, you saw what I'm building next door, so that's what's going to be.
God, that's big enough for two, Dave.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be crazy shit, man. That's gonna be crazy
amazing.
Shit.
No, you're doing it right.
And I tell you I tell everybody, the hardest part, the thing that you have to do, the hardest part is just doing it.
Yeah, man.
And we talked about this.
Jump.
Anybody can do anything that they want to do.
I got a good friend who wants to do a podcast, but he wants to wait for the perfect time. And all I say is, if you're waiting for the perfect time, you're never going to find it, man.
It's not going to happen, man.
You got to roll the dice and go for it.
You do it.
If you got to start off in your basement, your garage, do it.
That's everybody's doing it. Like Rob Mancini, when he was on my show, he had his own podcast called Fire in the Hole. Pretty raw, pretty fucking raunchy.
Sounds raw, but I like it.
It was pretty. It was
Fire in the Hole.
Fire in the Hole.
What does that even mean?
I can't say it. I can't say it. I know what it means.
I want to create a coffee table book on what does it actually mean. And
okay, I'm going to tell you offline. I'll tell you what it is, but it includes the word black.
Ooh, done.
So all I gotta say is black.
Okay, I can't hear it.
Guys, listen. I appreciate you coming on board tonight. Thanks, Joey, for coming in tonight.
Thanks for having me, man.
The wine is fantastic. Everyone's been fantastic. You guys all been great.
Yeah.
I'm going to play some music. So, guys, thanks very much. And we're going to play some good house music.
Awesome,
Stick around.
Thank you.